So, on January 3rd, 2026, the United States did something extraordinary. It launched a full-scale military operation inside Venezuela. Not covert, not subtle, this was airstrikes, special ops, the works. And at the center of it is this man, Nicolás Maduro. Maduro, the longtime Venezuelan president, was captured in Caracas along with his wife, Cilia Flores, and then flown to New York to face U.S. charges related to drugs, corruption, and narco-terrorism. And if that already sounds like a movie, it gets even bigger, because Donald Trump, now back in the White House, goes on camera and basically says, yeah, we're running Venezuela now.
That's working with the people of Venezuela to make sure that we have Venezuela right. Because for us to just leave, who's going to take over? I mean, there is nobody to take over.
At least for a while. And American oil companies are going to move in. This isn't diplomacy. This is raw power. And Latin America reacts immediately. Across the region, leaders are saying the same thing. This feels like the old days. The Cold War, CIA coups, U.S. gunboat diplomacy. In Cuba, President Miguel Díaz-Canel calls this state terrorism. He tells a crowd in Havana that Cuba would shed blood to defend Venezuela. In Colombia, President Gustavo Petro, already a critic of Trump, calls it an assault on Latin American sovereignty. He even moves troops to the Venezuelan border and asks the UN Security Council for an emergency meeting. Trump fires back personally, accusing Petro of cocaine ties and warning him to, quote, watch his ass. So yeah, tensions aren't just high, they're personal. Meanwhile, Latin America divides. On one side, countries like Brazil, Mexico, Chile, warning this is illegal, destabilizing, dangerous. On the other, places celebrating Maduro's fall. Because remember, Maduro wasn't exactly popular at home. So the region splits, and when Latin America splits, Washington usually matters. But this time, something else is happening. China and Russia step in. They condemn the U.S. move. They call it hegemonic behavior. They demand Maduro's release. And suddenly, this isn't just about Venezuela anymore. It's about who gets to call the shots in the Western Hemisphere. Chapter 3. The Trump Corollary. Trump starts talking about a new doctrine, kind of like the Monroe Doctrine, but louder. He says the U.S. will do this again if needed. Mexico, Cuba, others? Nothing sounds off the table. And this is where analysts start using phrases like proxy conflict, regional coalition, Latin America versus America. Because if countries start lining up behind Russia and China, and the US doubles down on forced regime change, you get something we really haven't seen before, a multipolar power struggle playing out inside the Americas. So, why does any of this matter? Because Venezuela has the world's largest known oil reserves. Because the US just removed the sitting presidents by force, and because international law is now very blurry. And because in a region with a long memory of US interventions, this moment hits a nerve. We're now in a world where China wants influence, Russia wants leverage, the US wants control, and Latin America wants autonomy. And Venezuela is right in the middle. Right now, Maduro is in US custody. The region is tense. Everyone's watching everyone else. And the big questions are, does this stabilize Venezuela? Or does it light a match across Latin America? Because this may not just be about one operation. It may be the opening move in a much bigger geopolitical story.
Subscribe to One India and never miss an update. Download the One India app now.